Guys, it's been a busy day for the brand new Call of Duty World War II. We've had zombie pictures, our very first zombie picture, very exciting, tons of campaign information. We've covered all of that so far today, aside from multiplayer, which is what we're doing right here and right now. Considering this is the first time Call of Duty World War II has been revealed to the world, we actually have a decent amount of multiplayer information to go through, which is very exciting, including a potential increase in the number of players on a map, a brand new thing called a headquarters, which will be a brand new community hub for everyone to actually physically be in play in between games and when you're searching for things to do in multiplayer. We have confirmed guns that will be in Call of Duty World War II as well, and also brand new modes. Considering we are quite a little bit off of the multiplayer, actually, you know what, not too far off of the multiplayer reveal. They have confirmed it will be at E3 this year, which is happening in June. I go to E3 every year. Huge convention happening between the 13th and 16th of June, which is really not too far away. It's less than 2 months away. So I'd assume we'd get a multiplayer reveal either at E3 or just before it, because it will be playable at E3, which is very exciting. So guys, this is what we know so far. If you enjoyed, give a big fat thumbs up. If you want to check out my zombies video or see the reveal trailer, it'll all be here on the channel, so go and check it out after this video. So guys, let's kick it off. So first, going to take a look at confirmed guns within the game. These were shown within the reveal stream. We're kicking off with a sniper rifle, the M1903, which is a bolt-action sniper rifle. And for me, I adore bolt-action snipers within like the older World War II/World War I settings. I think they are so cool, so much more like rewarding to get a kill with than the futuristic snipers, in my opinion. And as a Call of Duty World at War, believe it or not, Wii player, I sniped a lot and I absolutely adored it. So I'm so excited to see more snipes in this game as well. Top of that, we've got the M1 Garand. Everyone knows the M1 Garand. Fills up the chamber. You can only reload it once it has been completely emptied. There's actually an M1 Garand sort of variant or gun very similar in Black Ops 3 as a DLC weapon. So it's been around. You guys have probably seen it a few times, and I know I've used it in many Call of Duty games as well, but great to see it return regardless. And then we have the good old grease gun submachine gun. Now, I have a few snippets of gameplay within this video, nothing huge, but I believe one of them does show potentially what the grease gun will look like when you're aiming down sights and doing a bit of shooting, which is quite exciting. This is like a great SMG, could be everyone's go-to, sort of the standard, just started the game, everyone's rocking the grease gun as a submachine gun. Great to know it's in there. As I said, I think it's going to be a fan favorite for sure, and cool to see that within the Call of Duty World War II gun roster. Next up with the MG42. Man, was that in Call of Duty World War? I'm pretty sure it was, and it was a monstrous LMG. I don't use LMGs too much, but hey, good to see it confirmed. And now what we're going to move on to is actually images taken from the reveal stream that have shown little gameplay screenshots or just pictures, development pictures on people's monitors in the reveal stream. Now, I know how strict they are with this kind of stuff, so if we've been able to see it in the reveal trailer, then they feel like it's not quite enough to be too much of spoilers, but I've got all of them for you guys right here. So first off, I just want to show the fact that actually there's a flamethrower in the trailer. Now, we've seen it in Call of Duty World at War. Obviously, when you got to the max rank, you could unlock it, I believe, and it was badass. I mean, it wasn't really OP, but it had the potential to be quite good if you like jumped into headquarters and just sprayed everyone down with your flamethrower. Whether or not that will return to multiplayer, I don't know. You've obviously had the specialists in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 with the flamethrower returning. I personally hope it does return to multiplayer. Let me know what you guys think down below. Next up, we just got a still image, and these are the kind of gameplay images I'm talking about here, guys, of a bazooka just being developed within the 3D or 4D software program they actually used to put it all together. I have tried using software programs like this before to make Minecraft characters, and it is ridiculously hard. So the fact that they're putting together guns like this, they're talented people. Let's just say I could not make a game despite how much time I play games. Could not do it. But the bazooka's returning. We then got what I believe is actually a more detailed, it looks beautiful, gunshot of the M1903, the sniper rifle, the bolt-action sniper rifle I told you about earlier. Looking very cool, and again, looking like they've done a great job designing all these weapons, and they say the accuracy of how they look as well is dead on. So, well done, guys. Next up here, this isn't like so much gameplay as such, but there's a very big monitor up here. This is in the technical art area, apparently, where they basically almost beta testing how the characters react and move around certain objects. So they're clearly on a beach here. You can see a lot of text and coding on the screen, but also a lot of like barrels and just places to hide behind, which will basically determine how your character moves, the fluidity of it all. And I feel like this is going to be a very fluid movement system for Call of Duty World War II. where everything just feels very smooth, very next-gen, very refined, and they did a good job with that, to be fair, in Advanced Warfare, and I know they're going to smash it in Call of Duty World War II. Next, we've got tanks. I want to talk about this for a second, because do you want tanks to return to multiplayer? They haven't been confirmed. I just grabbed this image for you guys to show you them actually developing it and the art asset for it, but it's definitely going to be in campaign, obviously, and actually, there's a few vehicle screenshots within the reveal trailer, and do you want that in multiplayer? Maybe just on a certain mode rather than a certain map. For me, the maps that had tanks on them in Call of Duty World at War were big and designed to be big on purpose so that you could have tanks on them. I don't want maps that big personally, and I don't want them to be big just for the sake of tanks. But if you want to make special maps maybe for a certain mode, a bit like Face Off in Modern Warfare 3 actually, where they had specific 1v1, 2v2 and 3v3 maps just for those modes, with tanks in World War II, then go for it. Because I don't mind, it means it doesn't get in the way of just playing casually every day. And, you know, some people want it. Now on screen here, I'm going to put on repeat and loop a very small snippet, or two small snippets actually, of gameplay. I believe it's a grease gun in the first one, the M1 Garand in the second clip, and as I said, it's nothing huge, but it is technically a very first gameplay of weapons in action, people being shot. It looks like there's a lot of visual sway, especially on the grease gun as you're shooting, but I feel like it's one of those things where the idle sway, or like the gun sway, visually looks like it's a lot, but really the pattern isn't too bad, so once you get used to it, you can actually be quite accurate. I'm already analyzing this stuff, guys, and it just looks cool. As I said, there's nothing too graphically enhanced and crazy, so we can't go too in-depth in it, but if you want to have an idea of how the game will look, this is definitely our first chance to see it. No HUD on screen, there's a bit of coding on screen as well, just ignore that, this is very, very early on development. But hey, I told you guys to have a very first little bit of gameplay, and there it is. I mentioned to you guys brand new modes and also a brand new thing called Headquarters, which we're about to jump into and is very, very exciting. I'm just going to summarize very quickly what Michael Condrey said in the reveal stream in terms of new modes, etc. for multiplayer. So he basically said, boots on the ground, just reinforce the fact it's boots on the ground, everyone wants to hear that. There's going to be a new mode called War, which was actually available in World at War, but I feel like it's their own spin on it a little bit, where the Allies versus the Axis, so basically the two biggest guys fight each other in World War II, go head to head, both defending and attacking objectives. Whether or not that's something where your mission is changing throughout the map, or if you capture it, then obviously you're going to be defending it. If you haven't caught it, you're attacking it. It sounds interesting, sounds like a lot of fun. Apparently, you basically changed the way you play the map almost. Sounds a little bit like Headquarters, to be honest with you. If it's anything like War in Call of Duty World at War back in the day, it was a great mode. You should definitely look forward to it. Very, very good indeed. He also mentioned something called divisions, where you actually enlist in a division. Sounds very similar to the way you can actually enlist in like a team in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, believe it or not, and you can join different ones, rank them up, get rewards for them. I feel like that's the kind of route they're going down for Call of Duty World War II. Sounds very interesting. Worth noting, there's no talk of specialists or anything like that right now. As I said, this is very early days as we hear more about that. I don't really know how you can implement, well, you could implement specialists, to be fair, within multiplayer with that World War II setting. Could definitely be done, but we don't know quite yet. Now, I'm about to play you guys a teaser for something that is called the Headquarters in Call of Duty World War II. Take a look. Wow, it looks pretty impressive, right? So we can actually get a few things from this very short clip. First of all, the guys that are actually the two main characters that pan over first before revealing the whole headquarters are level 55 with the symbol that we're used to seeing level 55, which will probably be the max rank per prestige. No sort of secrets as of yet as to whether or not the prestige symbols, what the prestige symbols will look like, but max rank seems to be set to 55. So as you go down and have a look at the camp, that is going to be basically like your headquarters, and the best way I can describe it is like the tower within the division. If you haven't played a division, I'll try and explain it to you guys. It's basically a big hub where you do everything in the hub rather than on a menu. So for example, if you want to go and buy a weapon or upgrade your faction, rather than going to a menu to do it, you go out to a vendor somewhere in the tower in Destiny and you just interact with them. So I feel like everything's going to be within this headquarters. It also links into potential increase in maximum number of players in multiplayer, which is very interesting indeed. But going back to headquarters for a second. So if you imagine, I mean, they're going to have supply drops in the game, guys. I'm sorry, it is going to happen. But I feel like there could be a vendor where you get the supply drops from in the headquarters. You can go and choose your game mode within the headquarters. You connect with friends and create a party in the headquarters. You can see everyone else's prestige, rank, avatar, emblems, etc. in the headquarters. If you just imagine everything that's often navigated through a menu system, I feel like it's all going to be navigated through this headquarters system. And it's just a very, very social interaction. And hey, if I bump into you guys, I'm pretty sure you'll all come say hello. So I like it. I do definitely like it. I think it's a good step forward. They're taking some of the great ideas from Destiny, applying it to Call of Duty. It's smart, and I think this is going to be really, really cool, and I'm excited to see it in action, and hopefully it's one of those places that doesn't get too repetitive, because when you spend as much time in there as you probably will do if you play a lot of Call of Duty World War II next year, you want it to feel fresh, and hey, maybe they even add in new little bits in the headquarters as the game goes on throughout its year's life cycle. So very interesting stuff. Now, if we take a look on screen here, we actually have an image for a description for Call of Duty World War II. This is taken from Xbox, but it's been seen on Amazon and a few other places as well. And it notes that online multiplayer is between 2 and 48 players. Now, we've only ever had ground war, which is 18 players, obviously 9 on each side, and that's a lot of people. I think 48 players on a map is a lot for a Call of Duty game, at least. It's got potential to happen, and before you jump to an opinion straight away, yes, they could, I guess, link in a huge map with tanks that I mentioned earlier and just have a load of people on there. It'd be nuts. But it also could be relating to the headquarters, and the fact that the headquarters itself can house 48 players. So just say it's up to 48 players, but then when you jump into multiplayer games, it's the usual 6v6 or ground war 9v9. That is probably what's going to happen. I mean, maybe they'll have a mode with more people, but I think 48, 24 versus 24 is big for Call of Duty. It's a big jump. Those guys are getting well ahead of themselves, boots on the ground, 48 players, these guys are nutters. But that actually is almost everything we have. The final thing to say is that the beta was confirmed again. It's private access, as they're calling it. Basically, pre-order the game, you get access to the beta. It will be coming out first on PlayStation, then on Xbox, then on PC. The exclusivity contract between PlayStation and Call of Duty, or Activision, is still in place, guys. So that's why it's still coming out first on PlayStation. Just a heads up, just to let you guys know. But that should be all of the information that I've gathered for you guys from today, all relating to multiplayer. How impressive is that? Pretty cool. So guys, let me know down below. What do you think of the weapons? What do you think of the slight gameplay screenshots we've seen already? Do you like the headquarters idea? If you played a lot of Destiny and like the tower and think the headquarters idea is good for COD, I personally do. I think it's very, very cool indeed. And of course, if you're excited for multiplayer, give it a big fat thumbs up and stay tuned right here, right now, for all the latest information for Call of Duty World War II as we lead up to its release on November the 3rd, guys. I'll keep you updated if we find out more about the beta release dates and when it's going to be happening for all the consoles, etc, etc. But for the moment, that's all I've got. Go and head over to a Zombies video. Go and head over to the reveal trailer. Go and check it all out. Thank you for watching, guys. You've been amazing. So excited for this game, and I'll see you very soon with another video.